The thing about Ryan that I like is even if he's posturing, I'm the A side, Ryan is willing to do things to make fights happen. He was willing essentially to say Tank can be the A side. Yep. Like, let's make the fight happen. So whatever Ryan's saying, I have confidence that he'll do what it takes to make the fight happen.
But the fact that Ryan, has gone through 3 top trainers that would have done a great job, Eddie Reynoso, Joe Goosen, and Derek James.
Did Ryan Garcia ever allow those trainers to be the boss?
That's why he's back with his dad, because he's the boss. That's why.
He gonna win this fight. He gonna win this fight.
I don't know.
He got to.
Guys,
Conor Benn is heading into a major clash with Ryan Garcia, and Max Kellerman isn't holding back with a harsh reality check. Alongside other analysts, Kellerman walks through the real threats Benn could face, the tactical approaches both fighters might take, and the wild, high-impact scenarios that could play out once the first bell rings. It's shaping up to be one of boxing's most fascinating battles, and the experts are making it clear just how high the stakes really are.
Has one belt right now, and yeah, he may have the most followers, but those followers ain't gonna follow him into the ring.
Well, I mean, it depends. They might follow him to their TVs, and that does something too. Haney has fought his last couple fights on undercards, including Mike Coppinger, Ryan Garcia undercard. So who's the A side?
Look, Ryan's the bigger star, obviously. You see his social media following and all that, but in today's boxing landscape, Max, I think you can't have a so-called...
Max Kellerman recently weighed in on the upcoming fight between Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn, pointing out exactly why Ryan has what it takes to give any opponent serious trouble. As discussions heat up around this matchup, Max zeroed in on one specific aspect of Garcia's game plan that really caught his attention. Here, Kellerman break down what makes Ryan such a dangerous threat heading into this anticipated face-off.
The good thing with him is we ain't gonna have this problem with the A side, B side. Which y'all want to fight?
How important is it?
It's not.
Exactly.
I'm just curious. Like, sometimes it's just an interesting thought. Like, who is at this moment, if they're debating it, who would you guys say it is? Ryan Garcia looked fantastic. Yes, it was great against Barrios, but he really did look fantastic.
Conor Benn continues to project serious self-belief, while discussions intensify about his upcoming high-stakes bout. Fans and analysts alike are keeping a close eye on his next move within the division. The spotlight keeps growing around the kind of major events he's chasing in boxing, and the ambitions driving him forward. Just before this moment, he opens up about how he thinks, what fuels his drive, and the deep reasons that keep him locked onto the sport's biggest possible stages.
Asked a very direct question. This is first thing. He don't know me that well yet. Who do you want? Like, who's the guy?
Garcia.
That's all I want to hear.
There's plenty of fighters calling me out, so we'll see what's there. Whatever fight the public want, they can get. I'm here because I want to make the biggest fights possible. I want to make the most memorable nights in boxing. The ones where people go, "Core, what a fight, what a night." Something to remember, history made, legacy made. That's why.
The Entertainment Insider then shares his perspective on the rising buzz surrounding a potential showdown between Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn, especially as more voices within the boxing world begin to recognize just how massive this fight might become.
Thing that you know for sure about this fight is it's going to be fun as hell. The lead-up's going to be fun with both of their attitudes. They're going to be talking mad shit. And I'm talking about on social media. I'm talking about in press conferences. I'm talking about media workouts. The whole build-up, they're going to be getting at each other. And you know for damn sure that the fight itself is going to be a slow.
He explains that the reason this matchup has turned into such a major talking point for both analysts and the boxing audience comes down to one thing. Each fighter brings a completely different set of skills and serious strengths to the table.
Still Suleiman in the WBC, he confirmed that his damn self.
We have a board, 36 members from all over the world, and they are the ones that vote on every single matter. Okay, Conor Benn, he has not fought in the division, but we consider that he is of the highest level. He was ranked in welterweight for many years, and he has sent his weight continuously to the WBC, so we know, monitoring, that he is a natural welterweight and he will be competing safely in that division.
Conor's a free agent. It was a one-fight deal, but the target will be to fight Ryan Garcia. Yeah. And again, everything else is in the past and looking to move forward.
So Conor Benn is no longer with Zuffa. It was just a one-fight deal. And speaking of one-fight deal, they're both big bag fighters. Conor Benn making that bag against Chris Eubank 2 damn times, and now $15 million.
He also walks through why this clash is generating so much excitement purely from a technical boxing perspective, especially once you examine their reach, knockout ability, hand speed, and overall approach inside the ring.
Garcia, not considered a small guy. We know Conor Benn's not considered a small guy. Both of these guys are big punchers. Both of these guys got speed. Both of these guys are dynamic. I cannot wait to see both of those guys share the ring together and fight for the WBC title, with Ryan Garcia being the defendant with WBC.
Conor Benn has never tried to hide how he truly feels about Ryan Garcia. Across a number of recent interviews and public statements, he's made it clear there's no friendship or respect between them, openly admitting he simply doesn't like Garcia and treating this potential matchup as something much deeper than just another night at the office. The British fighter strongly believes he has the tools to defeat Garcia, and he's more than ready to back that belief up on the largest platform available. That level of confidence has only turned up the heat on what was already an interesting fight, giving fans a growing rivalry to latch onto. On the flip side, Garcia stays locked in on his own training and game plan. Still, the growing bad blood between the two is hard to overlook, especially as they keep trading remarks and laying out exactly what they plan to do. What started as a typical boxing matchup now feels deeply personal. Should the bout officially come together, emotions could end up playing just as big a role as pure boxing ability once both men finally stand face to face inside the ropes.
Entertained by any of them. I like Ryan. I think he's, well, I don't like Ryan. No, I don't like him. Don't know why I said that. I don't know where I was going with that. Do you know what I like about Ryan? Is he is what he is. He's entertaining. He brings chaos, you know, because it's boring. Who wants to sit on the fence? Who wants to be boring? Speak what you want to say and say it. Own it.
Well, I pay money to watch it.
According to Eddie Hearn, a matchup between Conor Benn and Ryan Garcia would undoubtedly be a massive attraction. That said, he has cast some doubt on whether Benn could come out on top. Hearn points to Garcia's reach, quickness, and superior resume against top-tier opposition as key factors that make him a serious threat to anyone in the weight class. While Hearn respects Benn's grit, drive, and readiness to take on huge challenges, he suggests that Garcia presents a far stiffer test than the majority of fighters Benn has faced so far. The promoter admits that Benn's non-stop, aggressive approach could keep things interesting, especially if he manages to stay in Garcia's face and push him into awkward situations. Still, Hearn thinks that as the rounds add up, Garcia's physical tools and track record against elite-level boxers will likely tip the scales. In Hearn's eyes, Benn absolutely deserves recognition for chasing such a risky fight. But should these two eventually step into the ring together, he sees Ryan Garcia as the clear favorite.
A lot of reasons, but here is the announcement. And I thought this was really well done. I thought this was really cool to see. Not only yesterday did Ryan Garcia go on the ESPN First Take show with Stephen A. Smith, but he also went on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon and announced this last night on The Tonight Show. That's a big-time treatment. I know that, right now announcements are flying left and right with big-time fights. And he walked up on Ryan, and I guess because Ryan put his arm around him, but Ryan wasn't trying to be physical. Ryan was...
Aide Oladipo points out that the bout appears to have been locked in, with Las Vegas as the expected location, and emphasizes just how much buzz it's already creating throughout the boxing community.
Slip, he just said it. I'm fighting Conor Benn next, September. I don't think he said where. Maybe he did. Las Vegas, I'm guessing, right? And yeah, that's it. So now we know Conor Benn will fight Ryan Garcia for the WBC welterweight title in September.
He highlights how opinions are split when it comes to both fighters, bringing up the past controversies tied to each one and the striking contrast in how they're viewed depending on the country. In his view, Ryan Garcia tends to get more backing in certain parts of the world, while Conor Benn deals with much harsher criticism elsewhere, especially across the UK.
Garcia, trust me, I've been over there to do Ryan fights. I've been out with Ryan. Ryan gets no hate. Ryan, like literally nothing. Like there is like Devin Haney gets hate more than Ryan, even though Ryan beat Devin Haney with PEDs in his system. So Ryan doesn't get any hate. But over here, I mean, Jesus Christ, we don't fuck around when it comes to Conor Benn. Do you know what I mean? It's very interesting how Americans view it compared to how we view it. Because there are a lot of big named American fighters that have popped, and I mean, they're adored. I think that's the bigger fight. I really do. I think that just does bigger numbers in America than Conor Benn. But Conor Benn has grown a fan base in America. Like in fact, fan base, is that the right word? He's grown an audience. People know who he is. Because of Shakur Stevenson calling him out. Like, Shakur got arguably his biggest win of his career, and the first thing he does is call out Conor.
Oladipo expects the lead-up to be nothing short of heated, predicting that both men will likely fire off sharp words at one another right from the opening press conference. He also admits that Garcia might step in as the betting favorite, though he stresses that Benn's relentless approach and refusal to back down could spell trouble for any opponent, particularly if he manages to pull Garcia into a rugged, hard-fought battle.
If you're Ryan, and Ryan will be a favorite to beat Conor Benn, quite a big favorite, I think. Ryan's probably thinking, I beat Conor Benn, then I do Devin Haney, and then maybe somehow, I don't know if it all works out, have the Shakur Stevenson super fight, maybe. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, that's the news, people. That fight will happen in September. It'd be interesting to see how Conor Benn physically looks. I just went onto Conor Benn's Instagram page. He's always training. So I guess he has to stay around a certain weight now so that weight cut isn't difficult. Because at 150, he still looked didn't look right for me at 150. It's been a long time though that his body's got down to that weight. So yeah, I think he will probably start from a lighter point just to make that final weight cut easier. But look, if it's the Ryan Garcia that turned up against Barrios, Conor's got an issue. But Conor Benn, woof.
ESPN Salvador Rodriguez believes dropping down to 147 pounds might not be the smartest move for Conor Benn, even with the massive paycheck that would come from facing Ryan Garcia. Rodriguez argues that Benn already has solid earning power within the UK scene, without putting himself through harsh weight cuts or unfavorable conditions. In his opinion, Benn doesn't really need to chase belts at welterweight, especially given that catchweight bouts have served him well in the past. Rodriguez also notes that even around the 150-pound mark, Benn didn't look entirely comfortable physically, which raises real questions about how he'd hold up at 147. That said, he still recognizes Benn as a tough, competitive fighter, one who's better than some of his critics tend to admit. So while doubts remain about the drop in weight, Benn continues to be viewed as a serious threat, bringing non-stop pressure and intensity every time he steps between the ropes.
Conor Benn, a lot of people felt that he didn't do good. A lot of people felt that Conor Benn is not prepared for the likes of a Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson, and Devin Haney, in which they reacted to his victory via Twitter. Well, X, formerly known as Twitter. To be honest, I don't think that the skills was really the issue. I'm not like Paulie Malignaggi, I'm trying to discredit Conor Benn and skills and talent and devalue him. For me, it wasn't even about that, because leading up to this fight, or the potential of Conor Benn going back down to the 147-pound division, we all know that he beat Chris Eubank Jr. in his last outing prior to the Regis Prograis fight at middleweight division, right? In the middleweight division, he campaigned in. Coming back down, I already knew that he was not going to look good. I think it's not a good move for him to go to 147. I think, yeah, the money is there with Ryan Garcia. But when it comes to, this is what I'm saying, when it comes to Conor Benn, though, with the UK market, he's always going to do good. He doesn't have to, cut weight like that. He doesn't have to feel uncomfortable. And put it this way, does he really care about the belts? No. So he don't got to go back to 147. He could be fighting catchweights like he did with Regis Prograis and stuff like that. But even at 150, he ain't look good. So I think that Conor Benn is a good fighter. He's better, in my opinion, than what Regis.
Frank Smith says that a showdown between Conor Benn and Ryan Garcia would rank among the toughest tests Benn has ever faced. He describes Benn as a committed athlete who puts in serious work and leaves everything in the gym, which is exactly what makes him such an exciting and risky opponent regardless of who he shares the ring with. That said, Smith also believes Garcia competes at a level well above most of the fighters Benn has taken on before, meaning this would represent a major jump in class for the British contender.
I think it will be the hardest fight of his career to date. One thing about Conor Benn, you know, as much as my views may have changed personally, he trains very hard. He'll give it his all. You know, it's going to be a great fight, and it will be an entertaining fight, I'm sure. You know, I think Ryan Garcia, though, arguably, is another level to the opponents he's been in terms of levels. But, you know, I can't write Conor off. I'm not going to sit here and write him off in that fight, because he's going to go out there. This changes his life. He's had a dream to become the WBC world champion. I'd anticipate that belt is on the line, unless there's any differences with Zuffa.
Still, Smith isn't counting Benn out, especially when you consider how deeply this fight matters to him on a personal level, and his drive to one day hold a WBC world title. He believes Benn will walk into it with complete focus and relentless motivation. He also calls the matchup a massive worldwide spectacle, bringing together two huge personalities from the UK and the US, which is bound to generate enormous excitement during the lead-up. Smith adds that if he were still in the role of promoting Benn, this is precisely the sort of high-stakes, spotlight-grabbing fight he would have pushed to put together.
Conor Benn into a fight with Ryan Garcia?
Yeah, look, I said it publicly before. You know, it was a huge fight. I said the build-up for it will be massive. It's two big characters in Conor Benn and Ryan Garcia. You know, from the UK, US coming together. I guess they'd do it in the US, in Vegas, probably. So yeah, of course, if we were still promoting Conor Benn, of course that would be a fight that we would target. And wish them both all the best.
Ariel Helwani says a matchup between Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn would turn into a massive money-making event. In his view, it has every element needed for a huge spectacle and would draw strong pay-per-view numbers thanks to the popularity and public personas of both boxers. Benn especially carries serious weight with UK audiences while steadily building a larger name in the United States, which only boosts the global appeal of the bout. Helwani also notes that Garcia's recent track record has been up and down, mixing impressive victories with lackluster performances. So it's tough to guess which version of him actually steps into the ring. The same kind of uncertainty applies to Benn, whose own form has fluctuated during key fights. It's exactly that unpredictability, Helwani argues, that makes this matchup so compelling. Both men bring star quality, unanswered questions about momentum, and explosive fighting styles, all of which makes this a highly sellable and exciting fight for the boxing world.
Versus Ryan Garcia is gonna be box office. Like, they're gonna sell the crap out of that fight. That is gonna be a huge deal because of how popular Conor is overseas. Or maybe not even popular, just known. He might be a little bit polarizing. I would say he's probably more well-known than Devin is here in America. He's more well-known in the UK than Devin is here in America. And he's just gonna sell the crap out of it. I'm curious to see how it goes because Ryan's been a little Jekyll and Hyde these days. You see Ryan against Devin, he looks fantastic. Then he comes back in Times Square, he doesn't look all that great. Then he comes back and he fights Mario Barrios and he looks great again. And so which version of Ryan Garcia is going to show up and which version of Conor Benn is going to show up? The Conor Benn that we saw against Regis Prograis wasn't all that great. The Conor Benn that we saw last time out against Chris Eubank 2 fights ago, rematch, looked phenomenal. And so there's a lot of questions.
Ryan Garcia has made a bold claim, stating that if he and Conor Benn ever face off, he'll put Benn away within 6 or 7 rounds. Fully confident in his punching power and overall technical edge, he expects to break Benn down methodically, using sharpness, precision, and well-timed shots to seize command of the bout before closing the show in the later portion of the early rounds. At the same time, Garcia keeps talking about the fan support he gets no matter where he shows up, particularly in cities like Los Angeles, where people regularly show him genuine love and recognition. That kind of backing, he says, fuels his drive and confidence while preparing to take on high-profile opponents. Between his strong prediction of a mid-round stoppage and an ever-growing sense of belief outside the ropes, Garcia is clearly approaching this potential clash with serious self-assurance and a mindset focused on taking full control when it counts most against Conor Benn.
Right now. Well, look, I'll try my best though. I can get him all back. Hey, what round is Conor Benn going to sleep? Oh, he's gonna go to sleep in rounds 6 or 7.
Are you excited?
Of course, man. We're gonna beat. You know that.
He called you out again today.
Oh, it's insane. He acts like I have a contract. Brother, I don't have a contract. You know.
How you been, Ryan? Good?
I've
You
been
look
good.
good?
Yeah,
You look like
yeah.
you've been training?
I've been training hard. Once you're a champion, you gotta stay a champion. You know what I mean?
Yo, Ryan.
Thank you, buddy.
Ryan. Keep pushing through. Yo, Ryan. Ryan, what's up?
Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn have already started trading sharp words ahead of their potential showdown, turning up the tension on what was already a heated matchup. Benn hasn't held back, making it known he genuinely dislikes Garcia, questioning how consistent or confident Garcia really is, and insisting that his own non-stop aggression and pressure will wear him down. He thinks Garcia will buckle once real power starts coming back in his direction. On the other side, Ryan Garcia has fired right back with plenty of confidence, shrugging off the criticism and leaning on his quickness, sense of timing, and knockout ability to handle Benn's all-out attacking style. He views Benn as tough, but also easy to read, someone who marches forward and leaves himself open to get caught. This back and forth has only made fans more eager to see the fight, with neither man willing to show an ounce of respect, both focused entirely on proving who's better. If this bout becomes official, the war of words suggests the lead-up could be every bit as fierce as the action inside the ring.
Bro, what are you saying?
Connor, I just want to say I'm one of your biggest fans, bro. I just with you. I'm not a fan of you.
Wait, Connor, are you there?
Connor
don't want to talk.
Connor.
He's scared.
Got your tongue, Connor.
He ate too much.
Connor. Connor.
Nah, that nigga was really off Austrian.
Nah, bro, these PEDs crazy right now. They speaking for real, man.
Yo, Conor, you on mute?
Man, he ain't gonna speak. He ain't gonna speak, man. He ain't gonna
Yo,
speak.
Josh, get your boy. Josh, get your boy. You, Connor.
Connor Nigel. Connor Nigel Ben.
Connor Nigel.
Connor Nigel Ben.
Hey, Ryan, let the PED speak,
Okay,
man. He ain't gonna speak for. He ain't gonna speak
Look,
for
you can
himself.
see the
He ain't gonna speak
PEDs
for
in his
himself.
profile.
Be sure to take a look at the rest of our content popping up on your screen right now.